Hey guys, this is part 3 of my Eachine VTail review, and I did flash Betaflight 301 to the flight controller, but the problem didn't really go away. As you can see here, I'm about to do some on-the-ground tests, and the motors are stuttering like crazy. However, when I did take it up in the air, the stuttering seemed to be less, and it actually seemed to be less than when it was on clean flight, which was kind of interesting.
Alright, if it's not on the ground, it's not stuttering. That's interesting. Alright, I'll try and fly it.
These were the PIDs I decided to use for this flight. So I would have to say that the flight characteristics on Betaflight are a lot better on the VTail than they were on clean flight, but still nowhere near as good as on a really well-tuned quad like the Martian that I was flying earlier a few months back. In addition to flashing Betaflight, I also changed the props to the KingKong 5040 two-bladed propellers, and these are a lot more well balanced than the gem fans that the Eachine VTail came with. I think that helped a little bit on the vibration and the motor stuttering problems, but with the gyro and the flight controller in the nose of the craft, you still have a lot of these sort of strange pitch issues, and it's not as bad on Betaflight. I think Betaflight sort of takes care of that a little bit better than Clean Flight did, but it's still very noticeable in flight. And the third thing that I changed was I updated the ESCs to the latest version of BLHeli. I think they were on 14.4 out of the box, and I think the latest was 14.8. So I'm not sure if that made that much of a difference in terms of performance, but you know, every little bit helps. So I think that, you know, the bottom line here is, even with all of the improvements I was able to make, I probably still wouldn't recommend buying this particular model, at least not right now. It's still, you know, with the 6500 gyro in the front of the craft and being hard mounted, you get a lot of these motor stuttering problems, and it has to do with vibration and noise from the motor going into the gyro, which causes a lot of issues with tuning, and you're very limited in how much you can raise your D gain. So it's very hard to deal with prop wash issues and other things that have to do with tuning. On top of all that, the model overall is fairly fragile. I've seen a few of the reviews where the rear arms snap off at the joint where there's just basically plastic holding the carbon arm on, and I've been fortunate that I've crashed this several times and not had that particular problem. As you can see there, I just did a roll, and because I wasn't able to raise the D gain very much, you can't really do any aerobatics. You just can't handle the prop wash problems there, so it just starts freaking out. So the bottom line is, I would just say pass for now, maybe wait for version 2 of this, and hopefully they'll make some improvements in the design, and it'll make it a little bit more robust in terms of crashes, and hopefully they'll come up with some better components. If you really like the looks of this, which is really the only thing going for it, is the looks are kind of interesting. You know, there's a lot of things you could do to make it flyable. I mean, I can see here it's flyable now, but it ain't great. At least not up to the standards that I expect. And I think that unless you really want something like this, and are very good at tuning and dealing with all sorts of problems, this is probably not something that you can just buy out of the box and expect it to perform really well. Anyway, guys, I hope you like these reviews of the Eachine VTail quad, and if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll try and help you out. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video.